we have maybe the dumbest fucking commenters I've ever seen in my life. Holy God. And welcome back to the Softlock Cafe. Let's see what's on the menu. How you doing, gamer?
God, I'm so glad to be here right now. I'm glad that I made it through this last 2 weeks. It has been the worst 2 weeks ever. I've had like people in my house multiple days, and it has been a nightmare because they were supposed to only be in here. I googled it. You're supposed to be able to change an AC furnace in 8 hours. So they come, they're here, they take like a 3-hour lunch break in the middle of the day, and they're like the whole day I have to have Alice like put up because they're going in and out and they're doing a bunch of shit, and I have to like
Loving it out.
Yeah, they're doing a bunch of shit, and then after they get done for the day, they're like, "We'll be back tomorrow to finish up." Then they come back the next day for like another 4 hours. I couldn't stream on my Twitch channel. I couldn't jork my gurk. I couldn't do anything. I was in a bad way. But then they left, and my house is, I mean, it's cool now, so I guess that's a good thing. But I don't know. I think I'm having a first world problem. I don't know. How about you?
I finally, for the first time since May, get to go back to work tomorrow. Woo!
Let's go! Paychecks.
As we've learned, or something I've learned, I guess. It's something I've known, but I've relearned over the time I've had off. A lot of my self-worth is tied to working. Because if I'm just like sitting at home not doing anything and like not being productive, I feel like a waste of space. So very excited to hopefully be a lot less depressed moving forward and hate myself less. That'll be Poggies.
Hey, and look out for the hole getting deeper once it doesn't get better. You know what I'm saying, chat? Look out for that hole to get deeper.
True.
What were you going to say?
Oh, I was like, we also got a new principal, and this is my first time working for a different principal, so that'll be interesting to see as well.
That is interesting. I was going to ask you, because you're going back to work, like, what new horror do you think awaits you this year? Because, like, I feel like every year there's some new bullshit that goes on that, like, is insane. Like, whether it be the students or, like, teachers or parents. Like, what's your prediction 2025, 2026 school year for the most fuck shit thing?
I will say this is the first year where I feel old going into it. Because like last time, like I knew about Italian brain rot. I knew about like all of like the shit that had happened over the summer that the kids were going to come in. I feel like not a goddamn thing has happened other than Labubu's. And there has to have been more that have happened other than Labubu's. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to be completely blindsided by fucking Gen Alpha bullshit. And I'm going to have to I'm going to look old for the first time.
Yeah, that is crazy. We're going to have to like, the comments of the video are going to have to let us know what the Gen Beta we're on now? What the Gen Beta
I'm pretty sure I'm still having Gen Alpha kids, but and when is Gen Beta gonna start? Are we even calling the next Gen Beta, or are we just going down the list now?
Yeah, we are going back down the list, and I would actually KMS if I was a part of. If I was born and I rolled Gen Beta, I'd cut it right there. I don't even care because like I feel like Gen Beta might be the most screwed generation yet. You know, just like they're gonna be alive when AI takes over, and there's like literally AI everything. You know what I mean? In the next like 50 years, crazy.
So I've just learned Gen Beta is literally starting right now. Babies born in 2025 will be Gen Beta. So I've got Gen Alpha for the next while.
You got 7 years, buddy. They're coming. They're coming. And the thing is once they come, it's going to be aggressively, like, it's going to be Gen Z on crack. Because they're not going to give a fuck. They're going to hate every single politician that exists, even the progressive ones. And they're going to want to, like, do political violence. It's going to be the trifecta of, like, generational, like, fuck every other generation. That's my prediction, is that Gen Beta is going to, like, it's going to be the opposite of what they're named. You know what I mean? They're going to be the most Sigma Gen.
Yeah, I was thinking because like Gen Alpha is already kind of that. Like we talked about, like Gen Alpha is gonna be like some violent motherfuckers because Gen Z's kind of pussies. Like they talk that shit, but then they just don't show up to vote. So it's like really annoying. Again, Gen Z's a bunch of keyboard warriors. And Gen
My little
Alpha,
brother though is Gen Alpha, and I think he does the same shit. He just turned like 18, and that's Gen Alpha, right?
Gen Alpha, was he born after 2010?
He was born in 2006.
Then no, he's a Gen Z.
All right, never mind then. But yeah, my brother didn't vote. Fucking head. But calling his ass out.
I said Gen Alpha is going to be the ones that are like actually going to fucking like bring back the French Revolution and like guillotine some people. And then Gen Beta, they're going to be like the new boomers. Like it's all going to go like that's be the Gen Beta for boomer. They're going to bring it back. They're going to be super conservative and like They gotta like autocorrect because like fucking the country's probably gonna start to get better, and then they're gonna be like, nah, fuck that. What if we just like tanked this shit though?
We actually thought Trump was sick, actually.
Yeah.
Because they weren't around for any of it. Like, Trump's gonna die in the next year, and then they're never gonna have any frame of reference for how actually terrible this guy is. Like, it's like our frame of reference for Reagan. Like, we can only really imagine how fucked it was when Reagan was president. You know what I mean? Because we weren't around for that shit.
All I know about Reagan is that like fucking, you know, Drake and Josh, where fucking Josh should just be sitting there. He's like, Megan. It's like us. So it's like, I know Reagan fucked everything up. Do I know how he fucked it up? No. But there's like a 90% chance if something's fucked, you can link it directly back to Reagan.
Yeah, he basically a massive effort. He's like the war on drugs guy for one, which is like a big reason as to why he's like dismantled a lot of the social safety nets that he tried to dismantle. He basically was a direct opposite of FDR. Basically, it's like we went from FDR, who was like the Green Deal, and like all of this shit, and then we went
New Deal, not Green Deal.
New Deal. I keep doing this.
You do.
It's the New Deal, and then we go into Reagan, who's like, hey, all that shit that guy thought was cool, fuck all that. That's basically
except the concentration camps; those were based. Reagan probably.
I'm just saying, if concentration camps were around, Reagan probably had a hand in them.
Well, FDR is the one who actually did the concentration camps.
Have you ever seen a concentration camp and Reagan in the same room? Yes, actually.
Probably.
Yeah, you have. Have you ever seen the Jeffrey Epstein list and a fucking honest reporter in the same room? No.
I mean, since we're here, fucking, what you got for us?
All right, fine. Hey, fucking Jeffrey Watch 2026, Oath on the Case. Woo. We're doing this every episode now, I guess. Friggin'
yeggog, throw up a graphic. This is gonna be our new segment.
Yeah, you could like do like a snack zone graphic from Jetlag. Yeggog's gonna get that one. So Ghislaine is now saving her own skin, as everyone predicted, and she has now said Donald Trump don't have shit to do with shit in terms of the files, in terms of the island. He don't got shit to do with shit. And on cue, everybody went, lol, okay. And we don't care anymore, I guess. Nobody cares. Lol, okay. Shut the... We're on to you! All right? It don't matter who says it! We know! We know about you! We know about your friends! We know about all of them! All right? That's your mans, all right? If you're a Republican and you're supporting that MAGA shit, that's your mans! Those are your mans! Figure it out! Figure your peoples out before you come after my peoples, all right? Don't be coming after my peoples when your peoples is like that, all right? Fuck! Also, fuck Bill Clinton.
So true. Yeah, they sent out a bunch of subpoenas for like fucking like Steve Bannon and fucking the former FBI director guy like for Obama, and fucking Clinton got subpoenaed, and like a bunch of other like Democrats only pretty much have been subpoenaed. It's like crazy. I can't imagine why Ghislaine would say this when she's vying for a pardon under a Republican president. I can't imagine why it's mostly Democrats being subpoenaed.
Dude,
fuck those Democrats. They deserve to go down too. I'm not trying to like defend the Democrats, but some Republicans are also needing to be subpoenaed.
You know what's crazy? Well, I guess this doesn't really have much to do with the Jeffrey Epstein stuff, but have you been seeing Marjorie Taylor Greene's departure from the Republican Party this past week?
Yes, I have also. Yeah, she was like, I don't think the Republicans are treating women very well. It's like, what?
Whoa,
Marjorie, what do you mean?
Who could have seen this? Who could have seen this?
And then she also is acknowledging that what's happening in Gaza is in fact a genocide.
Actually based, but she also said that Jewish space lasers exist, so it's not like she cares about the Gaza people, she just hates Jews. So it's like, you got there the wrong way, but like, I guess we agree.
Yeah.
Which is like, yeah. We could knock out all the politics at once if you want.
Well, I was gonna say last little bit. Don't be surprised in the next week if we see Ghislaine get pardoned and or suicided herself.
yeah. And then we could do election watch 2028 for the or actually 2026 is midterm. Midterms are next year. Gerrymandering is back in style. Texas is
we've never been better, baby.
Yeah, Texas is basically openly and actively redrawing districts to ensure there are as little Democratic seats as possible, and their stance on...
I'll say they're also withholding like flood relief funds. They like tied that in with the gerrymandering bill. So like they get to posture that the fact that the Democrats don't want to vote on this because they don't want to just willingly gerrymander the fuck out of their state. They're like, oh, well, they don't care about flood relief. It's like, no, motherfuckers, you guys don't care about flood relief because you're the ones who fucking tied it into the same bullshit.
Yeah. So in an effort to essentially force this to like not happen, a bunch of Democrats ran to Chicago, New York, California, essentially cities that would protect them from, you know, Texas. And then on cue, Texas being Texas, immediately issued arrest warrants. And now they're talking about like sending FBI agents out. And it's it brings up an interesting idea or like an interesting potential. And is like this would... I don't think in my heart of hearts that this would ever happen in a modern America, but like we are probably closer now to a civil war than we've been since the first one. You know what I mean? It's actually kind of crazy.
And for those who don't know why they ran, you have to have like a certain percentage of like the state senate there or whatever to be able to even vote. And so enough of them have fled that they're not even allowed to hold a session, which is why this is as big of a deal as it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you see people they're leaving, so they can't do that. And then California has also threatened to redistrict if Texas redistricts to cut away things, which honestly is like the only thing we can be doing. Like, don't get me wrong, gerrymandering is shitty regardless of which side is doing it. But like if the Republicans are going to do this, the Dems actually need to fucking nut up and do the shitty thing as well to be able to counterbalance the shitty. In this case, two wrongs are making a right, even though it's all fucked and we should just not gerrymander in the first place. But
Yeah. Basically, it went from like initially like there was a lot of heat, like, oh, why are you gerrymandering? And then the Republicans' response instantly was, oh, well, you gerrymandered too. And while yeah, obviously the ideal situation is no gerrymandering, you're the one that's doing it right now. You know, obviously we address things as they happen. We're not gonna like be like, oh, it's fine that they gerrymandered this time because the Dems, you know, gerrymandered before. It's like we're basically doing this back and forth one up. Like if you want to do that, then well they did this, well they did this, well they did this. We can't do that. Nothing gets solved. We're trying to solve a problem, not fucking moan and complain. That's all they want us to do. They want us to moan and complain so that we don't actually create any real heat under their asses about solving the problem. You know, if we really wanted to solve gerrymandering, I think they did that shit in Idaho where they actually did. There was like an algorithm that basically determined like you want the same amount of population in each district typically, and you don't want the district's shape to be like fucking a squiggly diggly, you know, that cuts out half of San Antonio. So you just make common sense squares, you know what I mean? And you combine certain squares based on population bases so that you have each district representing an equal number of people that, you know, have that equal number of say. And you're not trying to splice those districts up based on a human aspect, you know what I mean? It's just, but the thing is like if you did that, right, there would instantly be the, oh, well, we can't trust this because it's not a human doing it. It's like, well, I mean, I trust fucking AI to draw districts more than I trust fucking Greg Abbott to do it. You know what I mean? More than I trust. You know, I don't know. I don't know. It's just it's the most insane shit ever, and it seems like there's a lot of like heat right now towards like, oh, we're gonna go get those Democrats and bring them back to Texas, which is it's all smoke and mirrors to distract us from the fact that a ton of high-ranking officials in our government are just pedophiles, man. They're just
you can't just keep saying everything's a distraction. This is the battle. The gerrymandering is the battle, not the distraction.
Yeah, well, like when we think about midterms, right? There's a clear and obvious path that the Dems are just going to gain a shit ton of seats, and so that's why they're doing this.
That happens every cycle. Whatever party's not in power usually sees a pretty big surge in the midterms.
Yeah, and part of Project 2025, we are now in the second half, essentially, of Project 2025. Anyone who ever paid attention to this, they have literally bullet point by bullet point gone through this plan, and we are now at the part where they are going to prevent future elections from ever going to Democrats, essentially. And like, I don't know how you fight this other than revolution. I don't know where do we go from here. You know what I mean? How do I protest the fact that Texas is gerrymandering their shit? You know what I mean? I live in a purple state. I'm in North Carolina. We got shit like this going on, but like ultimately North Carolina doesn't fucking matter, you know, in the grand scheme of things. So like what do I do? What do I do?
So there's this guy Luigi. He had a pretty good fucking sense of what to do.
Woohoo! We could time wipe
Yeah,
that.
I also don't know what the fuck we're doing other than that, because like I live in a state where it actually doesn't fucking matter because my shit's red as fuck, despite living in a blue city. Like literally everything else. St. Louis is like more 50-50. Kansas City's pretty fucking blue, and then it's all red. So fucking nothing I do matters.
Yeah, well, I guess ultimately we will just have to see what happens. Either we are going to be the one to cause change. It is going to have to be in an individual impacting change on a level we haven't seen, because it's been clear that like an organizational protesting doesn't work. It has to be like individual impact, because individual impact seems to have a much greater like effect on the landscape than fucking 17 people standing in a parking lot, chanting about shit.
Disclaimer: we are not telling one of our viewers to go kill someone. That would be bad. However, we are saying when people do go kill people is when things tend to happen. But you should not be the person to go kill someone.
Yeah, I'm essentially. I mean, if Ghislaine gets pardoned, there's going to be some. Vitali's going to be. We're going to have to make sure we keep an eye on him. He might come for somebody, If Ghislaine gets pardoned, that might finally be the thing that makes Vitali crack and go after Trump. We'll see. All right.
All right, if we can talk about anything else, so please save me.
Softlock.
It's so fun.
God, So we could talk about some Switch things. There's a couple of Switch things that we could talk about if we want to transition into some gaming topics.
Try to switch it up a little.
Yeah, we'll switch it up a little bit. Oh man, give Zia like a little kawaii and make the sound when he snapped like that, so he looks super kawaii. But they increased the price of the Switch One. Did you see that?
I did not. I think it's very funny though.
Yeah,
it's so they can subsidize their $90 games.
So basically, it was like a $30 price increase for like the handheld, and like a $20 increase for like the regular Switch, and then like a $40 increase for the OLED. And it's like, I don't quite understand. Like, I assume it's because of tariff pricing. They're trying to price in tariffs, but like at this point, I feel like that is such a fuck you move to everybody who's like, I want to play Nintendo games, but I can't buy a Switch 2. It's like, well, fuck you. You might as well buy a Switch 2 anyways. It's like, all right, well, why are you like, what are we doing here? If we care about, do we care about the consumer or not, Nintendo? Because you always talk this big game about caring about consumer experiences and caring about what the consumer thinks, and all these surveys Nintendo sends out, not shit comes from it. I've stopped taking their surveys because they don't listen.
Fuck Nintendo. They have never once cared about the consumer or the consumer experience. They're like the least consumer forward like gaming company that I can think of.
Well, I mean, they talk a big
other than
game.
Like EA, I guess. But like,
I don't know. I just feel like Nintendo talks such a big game, and I mean, beyond like their bullshit nonsense about like them, being consumer forward. I think it's like they're a public company, right? Are they Nintendo's public, right?
I would assume so. That's fine.
Yeah, so it just feels disingenuous to like at the same side saying that we're so consumer forward.
I can buy Nintendo stock. Yes, they are public.
Yeah, and then actively making decisions that only serve your shareholders. Like it's the same shit that like other companies do outside of the gaming sector. But I mean, gaming companies do it too. It's just not as publicized as much, because I still feel like gaming reporting as a whole is still falling apart. Like we had to fucking roast Jeff Keighley for 7 months for him to get to mention gaming layoffs. You know what I mean? Like he was not gonna do that shit. So I don't know. I don't know what's up with the gaming reporting, but I feel like there needs to be a bit more heat on Nintendo. But I don't know.
So where does the price comparison between Switch 1 and Switch 2 now? Are they like effectively the same price, or?
There's like a $100 difference, like $70 difference at this point. Go put up the actual number, but don't say shit and correct me, because that'll piss me off. And yeah, I just needed to preempt that. Don't say shit.
Shit.
I just need a number.
I can't wait he's gonna splice in the word shit and nothing else. Like, don't say shit. Shit.
All right, and then beyond that though, Nintendo did have a direct, and they revealed a bunch of third-party games. It ended up being kind of like the Square Enix showcase, plus a couple of Devolver Direct or Devolver Digital, not Devolver Direct games. The main thing was the finale was the same game twice, which is really funny. They announced an HD 2D game, which is like the 2D characters and sprites with the 3D environmental design, which is fine. There's a whole discussion going on about how like that's a very novel concept. It's cool for 10 minutes, and then you play an entire game like that, and you're like, this is very uninspired. This doesn't really push any envelopes. This doesn't really create it. This isn't new at all, And I agree with that to an extent. I think let people like what they fucking like, though. You know what I mean? Also, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, you could complain, but also like, why would you complain other than for the sake of complaining? So, but they did the Adventures of Elliot. I actually played this demo. I really liked it. It's kind of like a callback to the Link to the Past and the old school Legend of Zeldas, where it's like dungeon crawler action RPG, where you get weapons as you go, and like the first boss is literally a guy. You throw bombs into his mouth, and he like swallows the bombs, and it like stuns him, and then you go and you go on him like 7 times, and it's like it's cool.
Go crazy on it. Do tricks on him.
I do think the story aspect of it's really cool because it actually combines the story of Chrono Trigger with Zelda a little bit, because there's like a go through this portal to go to a different time zone that's kind of like the same. It's the same in like you're technically in the same area, but because it's a different time, it looks completely different, and it's like terraform.
That sounds more like Link to the Past than Chrono Trigger, but
well, that is literally the concept of Chrono Trigger. So like I have just described to you what Chrono Trigger is. You go through portals.
I have played and beat Chrono Trigger. I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to right now. Did you play Chrono Cross afterwards?
I did not know. Chrono Cross is
that
one
game
of those ones where you just
sucks. A lot of people didn't like it. I liked the fact that there's like 50 fucking recruitable characters for your party. It's actually sick.
It's like a Suikoden angle. I want to play Suikoden. I've heard so many good things about it. Suikoden's like a game where it's like 80 different stories in the same country. It's really cool.
I don't know Suikoden ball. That sounds hype.
Yeah, it's based on, I think, like an anime or something like that, or maybe they're doing a Suikoden anime. I'm not sure, but gaming is so back, chat. I don't know what to tell you. People have been saying that this year has been a dead year for gaming. I think they're actually the dumbest people I've ever met, that if they say that this year sucked for gaming. We had Expedition 33, a top 5 game of all time for a lot of people. We had Blueprints, a top 5 indie puzzle game of all time for a lot of people. We've got, the Ghost of Tsushima sequel coming up, which is one of my personal favorite games of all time. I can't wait for that sequel. We got Hell Is Us coming up, which I'll talk about for my game of the week. We've already had so many ones. We had Doom Eternal. We had Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is a generational level American style RPG, like Skyrim questing style, medieval. Like I
just watched Juve play through that. Actually, it looks fucking insane, and like it would piss me off. The combat looks atrocious, but everything else about that game seems based.
Yeah, it is just a really cool game. Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 was so glitchy, unfortunately, that I did not have a great time with it, so I haven't touched 2 yet, but a lot of people are saying that Expedition 33 are, like, up there.
Many people are saying this.
Death Stranding 2, dude, the only game that could beat the Expedition 33 for Game of the Year would be Death Stranding 2, and that would be, like, if any other game won other than this, I would have a riot, but it still shouldn't win. But if it did win, I would get it. I would understand why, because Death Stranding 2 just appeals to, I think, more gamers than Expedition 33 does, because a lot of people don't like that turn-based shit. So, I don't know why you're making faces like this is the hottest take anyone's ever had, because I feel like
because I watched you play that game and it looked fucking ass!
What do you mean?
It didn't look bad. Like, a lot of the things seemed fine. It just, like, overall, as a complete package, seemed not there.
That's crazy.
Whereas at least Expedition 33 is a complete package. I think
that blows my mind, because Death Stranding 2 is like a 9 out of 10, whereas Expedition 33 is like a 9.8 out of 10. You know what I mean? Like there's like there's a difference in quality for sure, but like it's negligible. Like it's crazy that 2 games of that high of a quality came out, because the music S tier out of Death Stranding 2, the story A+ tier out of Death Stranding 2. The story was good. Like you weren't there for the whole thing.
Story was like B-.
No, it was the climax was epic. Like it was very sick. It was very no, it was cool. It was ridiculous. It was awesome. You're like, what the fuck is going on the whole time? It was very cool. And then the ending was like hope. There's actually a message of hope. Whereas I feel like in Expedition 33, there's not really a message of hope anywhere. It's a story of grief. And messages of hope do a lot better at the Game Awards than messages of grief, unfortunately.
We've talked about this. Expedition 33 is a message of breaking cycles.
Yeah, but I mean, the whole story is about the cycle of grief, right? That's like the main cycle we're talking about. You know what I mean? Because like,
and if you're breaking the cycle of grief, then that's hope. That's like how to move forward.
I don't know how much I'm trying to spoil.
Like
here,
another game that I played. I don't know how much we want to talk about it. Fucking, I beat OMORI, and that game pissed me off to no fucking end.
We can chat about it. Let's chat about it.
God, all right, fucking. So, big, huge spoiler disclaimer. If you ever want to play OMORI in your life, do not listen to this. Yeggog, the time go to when we're done talking about this, because like it actually changes the way you view the game, like from the thing I'm going to talk about. So I on my 16th birthday, had a sibling pass away from suicide. And so I am playing this game where you are led to believe that Omori is a kid whose sister committed suicide, and the game is about like this group of friends and how they all have like handled the grief of losing a friend and like, you know, needing to be there for each other and all of this like really cool, sweet stuff. I thought we're all hanging out, we're vibing, you know, I'm making a connection with these characters because we're all going through a similar experience. As it turns out, big spoiler, fucking go away if you haven't fucking played the game. Omori actually killed his sister on accident by pushing her down the stairs.
Idiot.
And not only did he like push, because it would be one thing if he like pushed down the stairs like, oh my fucking god, and then like, you know, go tells mom, dad, is like, holy fuck, like, you know, fucking this happened. Instead, he fucking went and he hung her from the tree in the backyard to make it look like she killed herself, rather than just like being normal about this. And then, so what it is, the game actually has been about is like Omori tackling like the guilt for what he's done and like trying to like move forward and like, is this thing going to define me? Am I a bad person? Or is it just like an accident? Like, you know, good people do bad things and like you can still be a good person after that. Which is not the fucking story I thought that I signed on for. And I felt betrayed and it fucking pissed me off. And I was fucking really upset. And I had a significant less enjoyment with the game after that.
As someone who didn't play the game, I feel like the entire concept is insane when you realize that like that shit just wouldn't fly in like an investigator. Like they would just know that they didn't, like, this person did not die by hanging. They would just know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because like I literally like commented on that. Like she fell down the stairs and then she like fucking like fell and like crushed his violin because they were gonna like play in a recital together. Like fucking no one noticed like the fucking bumps or whatever, like, you know, fractures of like her spine from fucking falling down the stairs. Like fucking what do you mean? Like she has to have some sort of so that is like a thing. He hides the violin away in a toy chest in her room and like locks it up, and that's like one of the big things at the end is like uncovering the violin.
Yeah, but the parents would still know. They were like, "Where's your violin at, kid? That's $2,000."
True. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Fucking game fucking made me mad at the end. Fuck it. Fuck that kid. Hate him.
Yeah, I mean, I like my like ethereal, like really mind focused game like that, but yeah, that game just seemed like it had such a fuck you conclusion, kind of like a Joker 2, where they like the first part was so good they were like, nah, you weren't supposed to enjoy this, fuck you, and then they made Joker 2. So I feel like that's kind of what happened. The first half of Omori, they were like, wait, we cooked, fuck you for liking
I was having like a fucking like 9 out of 10 enjoyment of the game. I was like, damn, this shit is like fucking fire. I see why everyone's been telling me to play it. And then the twist happened and now it's fucking
like 5 out of 10.
I don't even know what I would rank it.
That's crazy.
Fucking,
it broke the Z meter. Oh my god.
It broke me as a person.
It broke me. Maybe that's what they were. I mean, if that's what they were supposed to do, maybe it did what it was intended to do. I don't know. But
I feel like normally games break you in a good way, and this did not break me in a good way. Speaking of things that are broken, have you seen the crazy Pokemon Pocket controversy?
I've seen one image online, and I don't believe that it's real.
Yes, so it is real. The screenshot we're about to throw up is my screenshot. I pulled the card, and I was so fucking happy about it. So basically, what had happened was 3 days before the new set in Pokemon Pocket come out, data miners are like, hey, guess what? These are what the fucking new cards look like. And they had the Ho-Oh and the Lugia, and it was like the animated versions of the cards, where like at the end they like meet up, you have the Ho-Oh and the Lugia together, and everyone's like, oh my god, this is so cool. The Ho-Oh that was used in the animated art turns out was just blatantly stolen.
No way. Nintendo?
Yeah, I know. Here I have some DMs to send you. Feel free to throw up all of these photos. So this is what the card looked like originally.
Okay.
Right. So we have Ho-Oh, right? He's hanging out.
That's the color fucked up on it.
Probably because this card never ended up coming out. And like I said, it ends up being a whole animation in like Ho-Oh's like bringing light to the world, which is why it's like half black and white, half like in color.
Okay.
And then this is the one that was stolen.
So they just mirrored it and cut out all the other Pokemon.
Yeah, this is them side by side. And they literally went and overlaid them on top of each other. It literally just is the same. Like, bro, there is no difference.
Bro, that's crazy. Nintendo.
And I will say, Nintendo, I talked a lot of shit on them. actual tiniest small bit of props. They have like in their fan art license thing, whatever, that like, hey, if you draw any Pokemon fan art, we are legally entitled to use it. You can get fucked about it. However,
That's insane.
they didn't do. But they didn't enforce that. They were like, Dib, you know what? Our bad. So 2 days before the fucking set was supposed to launch, they have to come up with new art for this card. And like I said, this is the one. It's like fully animated. They have to do like a whole animation for it. So you know what? You know what they released?
What did they release?
This magnificent piece of card. It just has an orange background and it says new art coming soon. And then when you play the animation, it literally just like zooms in on a black screen and then it comes back out. It's like a 1 second animation. It's so fucking based.
Just delay the release of the pack, man.
Exactly. It's crazy that they didn't just like push it back until they had the art.
Like a day.
And it still is this art. The set came out like over a week ago. There's this still, my card just looks like this.
Why?
And then because they use, like I said, in the Lugia one, he meets up with the Ho-Oh. The Lugia one is the same thing, except it's got a blue background instead of an orange background. So you know it's Lugia. And it still says new art coming soon.
Dude. Oh my god.
I was saying, this is one of the funniest things to happen in gaming in a while for me. I love that I own this. I wish I could opt out of getting the new art when it comes out because I just want my card to just say new art coming soon. I think this is such like a cute little like, you know, like encapsulation of like you had to be there at this moment in time to be able to experience this. And I'm glad it was literally the second pack that I opened for the new set. I got the fucking immersive rare Ho-Oh and I'm so fucking jazzed about it.
It's crazy because it feels like the juxtaposition of Nintendo raising the price of their consoles into plagiarizing someone is insane. It's just like, it's a true combo. It really is of a fuck you to consumers.
Yeah. So the fact that they they L canceled the fucking into being like, you know what, we're not gonna steal your art actually, and like being chill about stealing the art. It's like a nice subversion of what we would expect from them at this point.
Yeah. Hey guys, they weren't the worst company ever. Wow. Speaking
they
of
were only kind of shitty.
Producer Yeggog here. I just wanted to mention this. This isn't a correction or anything. Z actually posted this card to Twitter. And when I first saw it, like the first glance before I really knew what I was looking at, you know, it hadn't yet processed in my brain. I thought it was a picture of the front top of his head distorted into like a rounded rectangle shape where the text is his glasses and everything. I don't know if anybody else had that initial impression, but that's what I had. And every time I see it, that's still what I see at first glance. What's funny is that I replied to him saying this, and then Oath replied saying same. So I'm surprised he didn't mention it, but I guess it ruins the illusion that this is the first time he saw the card. So, oops, sorry.
I was gonna hit another speaking of transition. We do that like every time. We hit the speaking of for every topic transition. Nah, but another awful company is EA. And speaking of like EA as a company, right? We don't like EA. Boo hiss, EA's bad. Battlefield 6 unfortunately looks really good. Like, okay, I don't know, you hate FPS games, so I won't dwell on it too much, but like I wanted to bring it up because I like games. And Battlefield.
Oh, we can still talk about it, but you wanting me to join the beta, I'm like, brother, you're asking me to fucking chew on glass. Like, no, I'm not going to join the beta with you.
Have you ever chewed on glass before?
You might like glass, as it turns out.
I'm just saying,
it's actually super cool.
Like, if you've never chewed on glass before, don't talk shit about it. That's all I'm saying. But Battlefield 6 is gonna bring the first ever battle royale to Battlefield, which oh wow, how original, you know?
Daring today, are we?
I think the big thing with Battlefield for me is that it's all within the Frostbite engine, and I think the Frostbite engine is bar none the best engine on the market. It's better than UE5. It's better than the Kojima Productions engine. I forget what they call it. It's just better. It renders things better. It like you get more high fidelity environments. Like the games are big, yes, but that's the same problem that you have with UE5, right? There's not really a good level of compression, but their optimization within Frostbite is way better than any kind of optimization that they generally puke out of Unreal Engine 5. So like the game looks almost real to life. The game has like voxel based destruction. So if I shoot a rocket launcher at you and it misses, it's gonna fuck up the shit behind you. And it is so immersive. Like I feel like I've never been so immersed like watching a trailer. I was like, holy shit, I'm standing there. You know what I mean? So it's like just a really cool look, and also the gunplay looks really good. Like the movement looks really good. It looks very Battlefield 4, so my OG Battlefield fans are gonna really enjoy this one. I would definitely say this by the time this ep comes out, the open beta is gonna be over probably, but I would definitely recommend checking out the trailers, and if the open beta is still on by the time this ep comes out, which today is the 14th, check that shit out for sure. That's my rec.
There we go.
And then beyond the Battlefield stuff, did you watch EVO at all?
The only thing I saw from Evo is that fucking Plup won Rivals of Ether 2, fucking Plup Club up enormous. He's won back-to-back majors now. We were on Cloud9. He could never in Melee, but he can in Rivals, because Rivals is really similar to Melee. And as it turns out, the newbies picking up Rivals haven't played fucking 20 years of Melee, so they are significantly behind the curve on what a Plup can do.
We're counting that. It's a little Mickey Mouse, right? We're counting that because I feel like good players don't really play Rivals. You know what I'm saying? Like how like there's no people don't play Rivals. There's like how many people are online right now? Let's see.
I would say Spargo. He's a Ultimate player. He won a major for Ultimate and for Rivals. Like it was like the same major. He won in both categories, which is pretty sick.
There's 745 people online right now, and the peak is 1,000 24 hours ago. So it's tough. It's tough that like less than 1,000 people play it, because like I would say that's a Mickey Mouse championship. I don't know.
Well, that's just 1,000 concurrent. What's fucking Street Fighter at right now? I just feel like that seems about right for a fighting game for me.
You're gonna be really surprised. It's 15,000 players right now in Street Fighter, and that's not even the peak.
All right, you know what? Fuck me.
The 24-hour peak is 40K. So we're in a lull right now. We're in the bottom tier because Street Fighter 6 is so popular internationally as well. It's insane. But
it's like one of those. It's like on launch, of course, it's going to be like 40,000. That makes sense to me. But then like I feel like because everyone like wants to play the new one, and then once they've like played it and like beat the story mode or whatever, then people stop playing.
On launch, it was over. It was like hundreds of thousands on both Steam and PlayStation and Xbox. Like the launch. Street Fighter 6 was the biggest Street Fighter like by a lot. It was like because this was the first Street Fighter that brought out the modern control set, which allowed people like you to pick up the game and actually be able to do combos.
Real.
What do you want me to say?
No, fucking my whole thing. Fucking I'm good. Like I like Mortal Kombat the best because I will find one cheesy ass special move and then I'll just fucking spam that shit and I'm like, damn, that's a story mode cleared, baby. And so like that's the type of player I am.
Yeah. Other than that, Evo is so standard. Like Tekken is so boring to watch, unfortunately. And the finals was a mirror match. It was Anna versus Anna. So we were just sitting there watching them do the same moves at each other and they reset the set too. It was a full double set grand finals that went to the final game. And it was like, bro. We had to sit here and watch like an hour of this Tekken set that was the same character, and like there's just the flow of it's so slow. I feel like Tekken's like fallen off heavy.
Tekken it's just like a very much like more methodical game than the other one. It's not a lot of like bursting. It's a very much like getting chip in where you can. Whereas like with Street Fighter and like Mortal Kombat and like other fighting games, you get to like burst a lot. And it's about like
health every combo.
Yeah. Whereas like Tekken's just not that type of guy.
Yeah, and then I will mention Street Fighter. Mina RD might be the new GOAT of fighting games. Sonic Fox is probably the GOAT of every fighting game, but Mina RD is just different in Street Fighter. He won another Evo. It's crazy. He wins every Evo. There's nobody that can like challenge him. He did it from winner's side. Like he does it with different characters. He literally does it with different. He's not even playing the same character every time. He does it with different people. So it's like, bro. You're different, bro. So MinRD dominant as usual. Overall, I felt like the Evo was a little bit of a letdown. There was like, I mean, the games were cool, but unfortunately the matches were so predictable that there were no real upsets. Nothing like crazy happened. I feel like the fun of Evo is like that underdog story. There's usually at least one or two underdogs that make it to the top 8 in every bracket, but they didn't really happen unfortunately this year. So
fair enough.
Evo mid as fuck this year, unfortunately.
You hate to see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I could like recommend people to like go back and watch it, but not really. Like it was just look at the results, man. That's pretty much all you need.
All right, so I have a question for you. It's not philosophy bullshit, but it is like kind of adjacent because it came up when I was doing the dailies. Like one of the trivia questions was asking about Rust, that movie where Alec Baldwin accidentally killed someone.
Okay.
And so like, and then it got me thinking about like. I looked. I was like, "That movie ever come out?" And it did. The accident happened back in 2020. Movie never came out until 2024.
Or last
Yeah, it was like
year.
end of 2024. Yeah. And then I was thinking like The Crow, famously Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee's son, died filming The Crow.
Yeah.
And so like to me, it's crazy that you could just go watch those movies.
Why?
Like if I don't fucking know. Like if so, like if you died during a movie, would you want the movie to come out still?
Yeah.
I feel like it's like a weird like breach of like fucking like privacy. Like I like privacy feels weird to say, but like, you know, like
You signed the papers when you were making the movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they got it, use it at that point.
Do you gotta though?
Yeah, I think you do.
So,
I think,
like,
it's worse to cut them out. It's like their final role. You know what I mean? You got to respect that.
I see. Well, because the Brandon Lee one is different than the Rust one. Because the Rust one, it was just she was like a stage manager who ended up dying, so she didn't have any like sort of on screen thing. But like if you're on screen, it's like, you know, you put like blood, sweat, tears, you put your whole life into this role. I can see the argument for it wanting to come out, but I personally still feel fucking weird about
actors
that.
really be trying that hard. Actors don't really be putting it on the line. Let's be real. They sit in front of a green screen and they make faces.
He fucking died. Oath.
Yeah, but it wasn't because he put it all in the line. It was because someone was ass at their job. It wasn't like he was like, I'm gonna fucking go to the limit here. Someone just put a fucking bullet in the gun. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes they just put the bullet in the gun. And it's crazy it happened twice.
Yeah, so why would you even have real bullets in the studio? What is the point for that?
Negligence.
Yeah, that's fucking...
It's all... They didn't... The Rust thing, I don't know shit about the Crow thing, but I know a lot about the Rust thing. Didn't check the bullets, left the bullets in from, like, the day before, and then just handed the gun without ever... just 17 different steps of, like... Why the fuck did you give this gun to Alec Baldwin?
It gets grosser because the normal people that they have are like union. The union was striking at the time, so they hired some scab agency to come in and do it, and then the scab agency is the one that was negligent. It's like it's all bad all the way down.
And it's even funnier that it had. Well, not funny.
Yeah,
it's a little bit
chill.
It's a little funny that it happened to a bad person because Alec Baldwin like famously like throws shit and like hurt and like is a violent person. So it's just like. This like classically abusive person gets a gun and it's just like, oh my god. And then they bring him in front of like the courts and they like actually talk about prosecuting him. That part was Mickey Mouse to me. I was like, what are we doing here? Why are we wasting like money and time on this?
Spoilers,
like, obviously
he
this guy did not mean to shoot this person. Like, what are we talking about here? This is this is probably fucked this person up for a while. You know what I mean? Like, obviously Alec Baldwin's gonna be like, holy shit. At least if Alec Baldwin is a person with normal human emotional capacity, this will have fucked him up.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he is. I'm saying if that were the case, then this would be what would happen. But it is wild. I don't know.
From what I had heard, it did fuck him up pretty much. Like he took like a month off of like filming after the fact because he was like, "What the fuck are we doing?" Because that's where I'm at. Like if someone dies filming, I'm like, "What the fuck are we doing? Who cares about this movie? Someone's fucking dead."
But I feel like it's like, yeah, but like not everybody cares like that, unfortunately. Like people die every day. You know what I mean? Like people die during the productions of movies all the time. We just don't hear about it all the time.
That's a conversation I had with my dad. It's like the Brandon Lee one is a little more like, ooh, because he was like the one on screen. It's a question I don't want to know the answer. Is like how many times someone dies behind the scenes.
Yeah, like so often, especially.
I don't think it happens
movies.
all the time, but it probably happens more than you would be comfortable with.
Yeah, I mean, probably not so much for like modern movies, but like before 2005, I guarantee it was like an insane number for sure. And I mean, the fact that it happened in Rust, that's like the reason that was so publicized because it's like this doesn't happen anymore. Like we're the adults in the room. We should know better than this at this point. You know, humanity has been around for 7,000 plus years recorded at this point. So it's like, you should know to check the gun for the bullets before you hand it off. I don't know. But yeah.
Well, my thing, do fake bullets and real bullets look the same?
No.
Like he's supposed to be firing blanks.
No,
and so
they don't.
There needs to be something in the gun, but I don't know how close they look. I'm not a gun guy. Not that guy, as it turns out.
As a guy who was raised in the South, they don't look, it's not close. Like this is something that was so easily prevented if anyone just... What the fuck? They just look down. Sorry for my audio listeners. They look down and they go, "What the fuck?" At the gun. But it is crazy because I want to blame men for this, but I can't because it was a woman that fucked up. So like,
we're about women's rights and women's wrongs here on the show.
I don't know. The women's rights has gone crazy lately. I don't know if you've seen the Uber mention. Have you seen that Uber is now going to offer female-only rides where it's a guaranteed woman driver? I hate saying the word female, but the guaranteed woman driver.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, this is something I wanted to talk about on the pod because we love women here. We do. It's true. I don't know why I said it like that. It makes you think that I don't, but I do. We do love women here.
You better believe I got herstory right on catfishing when it was a category that they asked about.
So, but yeah, so it's just insane to me that we live in a society where this is a service that is needed, and like insane to me that like we got to this point that like this is the world that we live in. Not like obviously I can comprehend it because I've grown up in this society and I know that men are fucking awful, but like
say society again.
Society. Did I do that? Society.
It's just you're saying it so much. It's funny. It's like you were fucking in your joke arc. It's like we live in a society.
I'm sorry. I feel like it's a fucked up time for our society. Okay.
Yes, it is.
And so I'm just
like I think this is incredibly based over. It's one like you're saying. It is fucked up that we have to have this as an option, but since it is, it's good that women do have this option now.
And the second thing is, if I'm a guy, can I request a woman-only Uber? I didn't see any information. I looked into this. They didn't confirm or deny this. So if I'm a guy, potentially there is a universe where I can request a woman-only ride. I don't know if this is true, but I doubt there's no world that this would be true.
It would literally go against what they're trying to do. If anything, it would just make those women drivers more vulnerable. And the whole thing is that it's better for both parties. Like it's better for the driver and for the passenger, for women.
But it is funny to think about loving women so much that you only want to do women Uber rides because you don't want to be around toxic men. That's something there's something there, chat.
Because I Uber quite a bit as someone who doesn't drive. Every like third or fourth Uber is some weird fucking guy that just wants to talk. And I have never had that with a woman driver.
I want them to come out, and obviously this will never happen because this is racist. I want them to come out with an option that lets you have only Indian drivers because those guys are the coolest fucking dudes ever.
Okay, saved.
I
was like, where the fuck is he going with this?
You get into Uber with an Indian dude, he like asks you about he asks you one question, and then based on that one question, he either knows to shut the fuck up or like we're gonna have a conversation today. Like they can just read the room way better than any like 20-year-old white dude can that like classically would drive for Uber. It's really, really funny. I want that option so bad. But the thing is like all of these custom options, I'm about to do my socialist pill right here. It's all exists just to make Uber more money. They're gonna upcharge for this shit for sure, and they shouldn't. Is the thing is like we should be in a world where they shouldn't charge an extra money for the woman Uber if you're a woman who's like afraid of going around with a man because like men are fucking awful. So it's like what I don't know. I don't even know. Uber's about to make so
I really
much
hope
money.
that would be such a bad look.
Yeah, I mean, but like the thing is like, would there even be enough smoke for it to matter? Because the people that would use this service generally probably would pay more to be able to, not have this. Which is
but that's so predatory. I feel like that's such a bad look. Like I feel like that there would be a blowback about that.
More to come for sure. I'm gonna update on this story as it develops. But this is something that I was kind of interested in as like what the fuck is up with society, and also like this is a wild thing. It's just a wild time to be alive.
As of now, Uber has not indicated that this feature comes with an upcharge, but I don't know if the feature's live yet. If you're a woman and you use this feature, like let us know. I oath that I can't go into the market and test out. So fucking let us know.
I know there's at least one woman that watches us, so
shout out Scotty.
She doesn't Uber though, is the problem. She works.
I did see her defending you in the TikTok comments, which I thought was really cute.
Shout out, mom.
Also, let's talk about it. So we do because as podcasts need to do to be able to survive, we release shorts, and you can go watch all of our shorts over here in the shorts tab. You should go do that.
I love shorts.
However, we do some bits intentionally to farm clips to turn into shorts.
No.
I know, crazy. And one of those bits is like the weird philosophy stuff. And we have maybe the dumbest fucking commenters I've ever seen in my life. Holy God. Which it's also like, I get that like we do this stuff to rage bait to farm engagement. That's the whole point, right? But fucking you guys are doing this for the love of the game.
Reverse
like,
rage baited Z so hard this week.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm getting so tilted by our own comments when we're like posting intentionally inflammatory things.
So
like
what
Oath
short
and I, we
was
can
it?
have these conversations because like we know we're just shooting the shit, we're trolling, right?
Yeah.
We're having a good time. These motherfuckers, I assume, legitimately believe this stuff if they're going out and like commenting. And so I let this person know. We got the worst take I've ever heard in my life. I need to fucking blow it up because I don't know how to fucking read. They said cereal is because the short that this was a comment to is that Oath said that cereal is a smoothie, and I said he's fucking dumb.
No, I said smoothies are a soup. That was my take.
Oh, smoothies are soup. All right, which actually okay, smoothies are soup is
Which everyone agreed with me. To be fair.
So I think this is a silent majority type beat. That like if you already believe the popular opinion, you have no need to like go in and comment like, no, I think this is absurd.
Wow.
But the people that are like the people that feel like validated and seen, they're like, yeah, no, this is something that I wanna chime in on because I think that you're fucking cooking here.
I was,
but I think those people are wrong. Anyway, the comment in question. Cereal is a salad, and I will kill over this debate. Salad is defined as necessary dry goods, lettuce, croutons, etc., and optionally paired with a dressing, with or without a dressing. It doesn't change the salad to something else. Now, a soup needs liquid, otherwise it's a stir fry. Cereal, though, cereal is cereal, whether it's eaten wet or dry. If you just put a little milk in cereal, or you have 1 Cheerio and a gallon of milk, it's still just cereal. Cereal is a salad, not a soup. You can eat a bowl of just croutons and ranch, and no one will call that soup. What a fucking non-equivalent this is. Because calling milk a dressing is
so
crazy.
mad.
If you fill up an entire bowl of dressing and then add like, you know, like your croutons in it, that's not a salad, big dog. Like, what are we doing here? So fucking like Oath is here to show you the absurdity of the reality that this person is trying to get you to believe.
All right.
Shout out $6331, by the way.
Shout out. So I've taken the liberty of grabbing a bunch of croutons here. Right? This is about how much you would put in for some cereal, and then I got some vinaigrette here. I took off the label because no free ads on our fucking channel.
Damn.
Yep. And then so we're gonna combine these together, all right, commenter. And to be clear, I don't think you're an idiot, right? Z thinks that. I think you're so smart, and I think that everyone who likes
I think this is the worst take I've ever heard. I would have done this myself, but I'm poor and don't have this shit.
I think everyone who likes and subscribes is so smart and funny. All right.
There we go. Yum.
So
enjoy your salad, Oath.
I now have my salad here, and it's incredible the situation that you've had. I really love salad.
Not having a spoon is fucking crazy.
I love my salad, guys.
Yeah, how's your salad, Oath?
Let me drink it.
And don't get me wrong, I think the definition of salad is very loose because you have like the Midwest salads where we just add like mayonnaise and mustard to everything and it's like, boom, it's a salad. You got egg salad, potato salad, fucking ham salad, like whatever. Like I get that the definition of a salad is very loose. However, calling milk a dressing is crazy. That's just not what that is, big dog. Thoughts?
I really regret doing that. That was
Yeah,
not
I'm sorry.
a smart decision by me.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like,
you know what? You're right. That guy's a fucking idiot. Fuck you, guy. Why did I do that? You made me do this.
I had never been more tilted by a comment in my entire life.
So yeah, chat. This isn't salad. I'm willing to admit that.
Also, fucking, there's another guy just drawing arbitrary lines for no reason. He was like, I think smoothies are more of a chowder than a soup. Fuck you. You know what chowder is? Yeah, chowder's a soup, big dog.
Yeah, no, the reverse rage bait did go crazy this past week, and yeah, it's good to see the engagement on the shorts though. If anything, all jokes aside, yo, appreciate y'all engaging on the shorts. Definitely continue doing that, and also like and subscribe it for sure.
So I feel I've done a bad thing by doing this because now it's going to encourage people to rage bait me harder, so that way we call them out and they get their 15 minutes of fame for being mentioned on the show.
Oh no! Oh no!
What a horrible thing if people are intentionally engaging and liking and commenting and subscribing.
Oh no! All right.
So speaking of, do we have any more of that to farm? Is it farm time?
We do, but we need to cut because I gotta go fucking wash my mouth out for 2 seconds. Hold on.
Okay. And so now that we've rehashed old rage bait, what's our new rage bait for the week?
I mean, all right. I don't know if this is like rage bait necessarily. This is me. I just want to share some statements with you that I've had pop into my brain over the past couple weeks that I really feel like I need to get out of my brain, because if they stay in there, my brain might explode with the amount of potential that's happening. So it's
All right.
like
I would say you're here looking for a safe space. If I've proven anything these last couple of weeks, this is not a safe space. That being said, feel free to proceed.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna say some statements here. You just let me know how they make you feel.
Sure.
In movies, when they go faster than light, why can we still see? Are they stupid? They're going faster than light.
Real.
I'll go next. It's fine. They're not all gonna hit, you know. If that's above my pay grade, why didn't you do better on the pay quiz, stupid?
Pay quiz is the worst thing I've ever heard.
Good. I love that. We love it. Okay. Next thing. Why do people have like such poetic, such romantic language when we're talking about eyes? That shit balls in your eye. Like their face testicles. Why are we romanticizing these things?
One, I think we should romanticize testicles more than if that's what we want to do. We could change the way we talk about balls to make it the way we talk about eyes. And then also, are these all just shitty puns that you've come up with?
No.
Is this the practice for your type 5?
When you think about it, we really are just centipedes missing 98 legs. Just walking around on this planet, one leg at a time.
They made a movie about that.
Well, technically every movie's about that, but
speak to that.
Well, we're all just centipedes missing 98 legs. So every movie with a human in it is the human centipede essentially. Just to be clear, chat, I'm the back of the human centipede. That's my preferred spot. I would love to be the caboose of the human centipede. Thank you. That is the best spot. Let it be known that's the best spot. All right. And then my last statement. All right. This is just like, I feel like this one's smart. This one isn't even philosophical. So I'll preface it that, but everyone should buy triple XL clothing and then trim it down to the size you want. That shit costs the same as the small anyways. Why not get enough fabric? You buy 2 triple XL shirts, you get a third shirt for the price of the 2. It's basically a 3 for 2 at that point. You're buying a triple XL, you just cut it up a little bit, you hem it up a little bit, right? And you got yourself a third shirt out of 2 shirts because you're a small person, right? You're not a triple XL. You know, if you're a triple XL, maybe you go for the 6XL, right? There's levels to this. It's always proportionate. If you're at the top of the food chain, though, when it comes to that, I got nothing for you. But if you're below that top, oh my God. Listen, the rich can't keep getting richer. We got to start buying big shirts and hemming that shit up.
You can tell he doesn't buy plus size shirts because famously, if you go to almost any website, plus sizes do cost more.
No, they don't.
They do.
I don't know why I yelled that hard. You can cut that out.
He's not a buyer, chat.
You can cut that.
Both confirmed, not a buyer.
No, you don't understand. Like I see the 2XLs at the Walmart, and they're the same price as the smalls. They just are. That's just the world that I live in when I go to Walmart, when I go to Target.
Maybe in a wholesaler like that, sure. But if you're buying online, like I think it's like once you hit the 2XL mark, you're having to pay a little extra.
I'll give you online, but like people who are who want that third shirt, they're probably not going to Amazon anyways. You know, we like value. We like expanding upon what we already have to get more out of less. You know what I mean? That's what we are. We're cockroaches.
Do we want to do a challenge now? Do we want to go buy plus size shirts and then see who can make the best shirt from their shirt?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
We always do this where we like suggest something and then we don't do it and we have to cut it out. So let's just not do it.
Fair. A lot of it derives from the fact that I'm poor. But
do you, as a person, think that I'm smarter as a result of me saying these statements to you?
Not even a little.
Why? And look at my eyes.
Sure. Half of them don't make sense, and we're just setups for shitty puns. And the only one that is kind of based is why it's a movie and not real life, because we can't go faster than light. But if you were to go faster than light, you would just see darkness. Spoilers. And then the light would have to catch up to you.
Is this doing something for you at all? The face that
I've never been softer in my life.
But I might cry.
Good. Now we're getting hard. Hold on.
And cut. All right. And scene. And scene. Man, I think that, man, we live in a simulation.
We live in a society.
We do live in a society.
Famously. 10 minutes ago.
So this week is I do have another game of the week that I would love to.
A game of
share
the
with
week.
you.
I was looking for a game to play this week.
Can't play it this week, but you can play it next month.
God damn it!
I love doing games that haven't come out yet because it's like something to look forward to because these come out a week after their film. Fun fact. So like if I release talk about a game that's coming up in the future, by the time the EP's release, it'll be more hype because it's closer to that date. But
by the EP's release, EPSTEIN release
the list. All right. So yeah, Hell's Us is a game that's developed by Rogue Factor, and you may have heard of them before. They made Mordheim: City of the Damned. It's not really like the most popular game ever, so it's reasonable that you may have never heard of Rogue Factor before. But Hell is Us is a Souls-like horror style game. I
have seen this. Iron Pineapple played the demo on his Steam Dumpster Diving.
Yeah, I think the demo came out like yesterday, right? Or like very recently.
It's been at least a couple weeks, but yeah.
Okay.
That's like very, very based.
Yeah, but so Hell is Us is basically a civil war game where you have this country, this fictional country, Hadia, and you are this guy
Kojima? Is that you?
You have this guy named Remy, who is your protagonist, and he's basically on this quest to, one, figure out who he is in this country, because
two, prove that anyone can cook.
Well, yeah, for sure, but
because Remy, Ratatouille.
Yeah, but as you
I'll stop interrupting you. Tell me about the game.
Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. So the country.
We have a little banter on the podcast.
Let me at least finish my fucking sentence before we banter, all right? There's no middle sentence banter. It's like, fuck! All right, let me lock in. Me. All right, so Remy was on a quest to basically find who he is, and beyond that, the country is embroiled in the Civil War. So he wants to figure out what's going on with the Civil War, and while he's doing that, he discovers that there are these strange creatures that are now spawning in the country that are reminiscent of old monuments and carvings that were in caves that were there long before they were. So there's some sort of like awakened creature / evil, and he has to combat that while also trying to figure out who he is and solving, the civil war that's going on. I don't know if he's like an important person already or if he just becomes an important person because of the, the way the plot develops, but that's something that, you'll have to play the game to find out. And I know that the demo just came out recently, so definitely check out the demo, and I'll see you guys on September 4th. I'm definitely going to be playing this one on release for sure, but I look forward to
this. Is one of the ones you've talked about where I actually wouldn't mind playing this as well, because watching the gameplay from the demo was fucking sick.
Yeah, and it, like I say Souls-like and everybody's going to groan, but it's like I would say it's like more action than like, oh, you got to dodge roll and then get your 2 hits in, and then you got to dodge roll for 30 seconds and then get your other 2 hits in. It's I wouldn't really say it's like that. I would say it's honestly closer to a Stellar Blade than a Dark Souls, but I can't call it a Stellar Blade like, because then everybody's going to start gooning in the chat.
People are going to be like, what do you mean Stellar Blade? Like, what does that mean? That's not a phrase.
I want to play Stellar Blade so bad, but I can't do it on stream, and like I don't want to play it off stream either, because like playing it on stream feels illegal and playing it off stream feels illegal. You know what I'm saying? There's no way to play it. I have to like, I don't know, watch someone else play it.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. I was like, what is Stellar Blade? And then I googled Stellar Blade. I'm like, oh, right.
You know what Stellar Blade is. Yeah. But that was my game of the week for this week. Hell is Us. Make sure to check it out. So the thing with Softlock Cafe is we don't talk about politics. We don't just talk about, gaming. We don't just talk about bullshit. We actually want to disseminate some information to you in a way that's unique and interesting. So we're going to jump into our lesson for this week, hosted by none other than Mr. Carbonara. I know, it's crazy we went this long in the episode without mentioning my new shirt. But more importantly than having a new shirt, do aliens exist?
Statistically, almost has to be yes.
Okay, so statistically, almost yes. Now, a more important question: if aliens did exist, would that be a good thing or a bad thing for us? Do you think?
I don't know. If they do exist, I think we should leave them the fuck alone, because we're shit at this whole life thing, and I don't think there's anything useful that we could impart onto aliens. If I'm being fucking for real.
Well, spoiler alert, it's bad. It would be
of course.
really, really, really bad if aliens existed and contacted us. Do you want to take a wild guess?
Because we could teach them about capitalism. It would be so good if they existed.
It would be so good if they existed. Okay, all right. Well, you might not know why it would be bad if aliens existed, and so I wanted to kind of explain a little bit to you about, one, why it would be bad if they existed, and two, why aliens, if they did exist, haven't been able to contact us. And it's something called the Great Filter, and there's a greater theory called Fermi Paradox that's pretty interesting if you want to look into it, but we're going to do a little bit of an abridged version. So let's jump right into it, right? Think about...
Is that anything like Fermi estimating?
Maybe, I don't know. Think about a staircase, right? At the bottom of the staircase, you would have inception, right? You've got inception of life. And then at the top of the staircase here, you actually have... Okay, my slide's broken. At the top of the staircase, you would have current day, right? You're walking up the staircase of progression as a race, right? The human race. You're basically, you got your first step, which you'll never guess. Step 1 is gooning. We literally gooned our way to evolution. We gooned until we evolved into something better. It's truly a miracle that humanity has survived. We literally, on a cellular level, gooned. Every cell gooned until we became evolved. It all came from gooning, and it will all be gooning until we expand, right? So that's your first step. We take a couple steps, we skip a couple steps, then you've got, step whatever. We're going to expand beyond our current means, which is basically... Sure. Humans, we expanded, we created more humans, we developed civilizations, we started taking over more and more of the land until we have today where we have essentially taken over like 95% of land on this planet, and we, at some point we're going to start building into the ocean and start taking up that land as well. So this is the natural progression of anything, right? Whether it be humanity or whatever. If you are progressing and walking up that staircase of expansion and essentially evolution, you're going to reach this point. And then, so like, the final step to all of this, right, would be you've run out of room on your planet and you've expanded beyond the means that you have, so you must expand even further beyond those means to the galactic expansion, right? We would create more humans, we would create more necessity for resources, we would run out of resources on our planet, so we need to go find resources.
We're going to run out of resources on our planets.
Yeah, we are going to run out of resources, which is tough. It's tough. So, like, for example, we would use the planets as stepping stones here, right? So, like, creating a colony on Mars, then we would maybe travel out further out, It's basically like, think about it like a pyramid scheme upside down, right? You start with your tip, and then you branch out in 2 places, and then those 2 places branch out in 2 places, and then those the 4 places branch out, and we're essentially a branching path of civilization across the galaxy on an intergalactic scale. It's just the natural progression. But do they get
a sign-on bonus for me joining on?
It all depends on your experience level and whether or not you're willing to go out into the vacuum of space, probably.
Gotcha.
All right, so think about it like this. If aliens ever were to contact us, that means they would have reached a level...
Is the slide?
Don't worry about it. That means that aliens would have essentially climbed up that staircase to the point where they have branched out, because they wouldn't have just jumped to contacting us without having that network that would allow them to. Because from the humanity's perspective, space is dead. We have not found any life in space. We have never seen any signs of any sort of existence other than particulate, essentially, dust out in the cosmos. So we have not yet seen a network.
It's also just not true. We've found like life in the sense that like there
life
are like growing bacteria that exist on other things.
Producer Yeggog here. Z is talking about Europa here, where he thought that it was confirmed that there was bacteria living under the surface of Europa. That isn't true. It isn't confirmed at all. It seems fairly likely, but it isn't confirmed, and so just wanted to clear that up. Initially, when I heard this, I'm like, what are you talking about? But he cleared that up afterwards. So this is the version of this audio where I don't call him a dumbass.
Yeah, when I say life, I mean like I don't know, like an entity that could be like not a plant, obviously. Like not a plant. Maybe something sentient is what I'm thinking about.
Sure.
So basically, if aliens were ever to contact us, they would have already had that network essentially set up, and it would be so large, and that civilization would be so advanced that we would not be able to even comprehend the scale and the breadth and the intelligence at which that race would be functioning. So the brief answer to why aliens contacting us would be bad, that would mean that this alien empire has already essentially expanded and branched out to this step on the staircase, and that is a step that we're not even close to. We are like 17 stories away from that staircase. On the Final Fantasy VII staircase section, we're like on the first step, and Barrett's up on the fucking 50th floor right now. That's what aliens would be. So, and they would not take us seriously, and they would not deem it necessary to interfere with us unless we became a threat to their empire. So if they were,
I was gonna say if the reason they're expanding is because they're looking for resources, I think they would want to take us over because we, as people who use resources, have made our resources like readily available to be able to use, so we can use them. So it's much easier to come in and take our like readily available like processed resources than it would be to like go to some fucking planet and like have to set up like a mining operation on their own. They can just take over our shit that we've already done.
But that's what I'm saying, is that they're already so advanced that they would. This is nothing. We everything we have and have comprehended is nothing to a race that would have reached this point in the staircase, is what I'm saying. So that's my like main like brief argument as to why aliens contacting us is just objectively a bad thing, because this essentially cements the fact that we are no longer a part of this the food chain that puts us at the top. That is no longer the way the food chain works. So for the human race, objectively, we are going down on that food chain, which is terrible if that were to happen. But let's talk about like if aliens were to do this, and let's say aliens were to contact us, this would be essentially like us skipping those 20 stairs. Like I said, it's like us taking our fat ass leg and reaching that shit up. And you're going to strain your damn hamstring if you do that. You know what I'm saying? This is a greater metaphor as to like, even an additional reason as to why aliens contacting us is bad is because we would take those 20 extra steps and we would be essentially left in the dust. We already have people that like wear aluminum on their heads to like combat the damn, I don't know, the Jewish space lasers or whatever the fuck they got going on in their brains. And just the idea of that is going to like it is going to decimate humanity essentially as we know it. It's going to decimate society. All right. All right.
Society is the new box of scraps.
Yeah. So if aliens existed and they were to contact us, they would be gods, and we would be the ants that they could choose to piss on at any point in time if we bother them. So that's just it. But aliens haven't contacted us yet. They just haven't, or that we know of, that I know of today. Right. They declined the call. They put the phone down, right? So why? What? I guess I'm asking you, why do you think, if aliens do exist, why they would not have contacted us? And don't consider like there's no prerequisite to this.
Sure. Probably just because space travel is really fucking hard. And like I said, there are aliens. Spoilers. There just has to be if the universe is infinitely expanding. To think that we are the only form of intelligent life is such a fucking like Earth-centric, insane take to want to have. Like statistically, it just has to have happened elsewhere. Granted, it probably looks completely different than life does here, but like, you know, sentient, intelligent life does exist somewhere else. And like they're just facing the same troubles that we are, trying to fucking get to the point where we can do space travel shit. So I think it's a matter of time before someone figures it out. But I just think that shit's a lot harder than you're giving it credit for.
I'm not on any side of the argument here. I'm just presenting this information. I'm trying to ask questions. So yeah, basically what I'm trying to get at here by asking you this question is to say something is stopping other civilizations from expanding, right? Something, maybe not actively stopping, but like there is essentially like something stopping that progression for whether it be humanity or other races from being able to make that galactic expansion, right?
Domain expansion.
Say yes.
Yes.
Great. That's the great filter. So if we believe that aliens exist and that planets, do you agree that planets have existed for billions of years before Earth?
Yes.
Okay. So if we have those
I do in fact believe science.
So if we have those planets that have existed for billions of years before Earth, then they would have had a much longer time to walk up that staircase, right? theoretically, right? So basically, the odds of another civilization being able to get and reach that galactic expansion is incredibly high, just based on the infinite expansion of the galaxy, of the universe, and the amount of intelligent societies that could potentially exist, just based on probabilities. If we're exclusively looking at probabilities, we're talking about like 90+%, right? That this would potentially happen, but it's not. This shit is not happening, and that is essentially what the Great Filter is. So I drew a staircase here with lines very quickly. And
Holy shit.
you can see here, you've got your first step, not too bad. Your second step, not too bad. Then you got this massive fucking third step. And this is essentially what I believe the Great Filter is, right? You got a ton of life forms on this step, and then it's a little bit tough to get to this step, you know what I'm saying? So there's less life forms that are able to reach this step, and then it's tougher to get to this step, so there are less life forms that reach this step, and then this step becomes so great that there are 0 life forms that have reached this, whether it be because those life forms are not able to progress because of lifespan reasons, because of scientific reasons, whatever that may be. So this step right here is the entirety of the Great Filter, essentially. This step is what we consider as the filter between a life form's ability to expand beyond their planet and their means into the galaxy. So I think that's fucking insane, right? This clicked in my brain so well, because there are only 2 places you can be in the Great Filter, right? You're either behind it or you're ahead of it, right?
Everything's a 50-50.
Right, well, yeah, literally, you're either behind it or you're ahead of it, right? So what could this shit be, right? So let's talk about being ahead of the Great Filter. What would cause us to be ahead of that other species don't have, right? Because if we are ahead of that and we are one of the most advanced species to ever exist in the universe ever, there would have to be something for that. So the things that I believe that set us apart are things like evolution, things like renewable resources, right? That might not be something that people in the universe have. Now, the thing with that is that if that is the case, then that means that basically that we are the only life forms that have ever reached past that Great Filter, which I think is bullshit, right? So the second scenario is that
sorry, are we counting the fact that we've been to the moon as breaking the passing through the Great Filter?
No,
okay, good.
I'm not saying that we're through. I'm presenting theoreticals. I'm saying, like, if we are in front of it, this is the situation it would be. But if we're behind it, if we as a society have yet to pass this filter, I said it again, chat, and neither has any other civilization in history, what then could this Great Filter be? And I have a theory that this Great Filter, because of the great expanse of the universe, would be the ability to transcend your body and maintain your form and who you are and your soul in the universe without being tied to that body. I think that's like genuinely like what is causing us to like not, because I think that's what the Great Filter is, because like the vastness of space and the ability for us to get there, we would just die in the time it takes us. You know what I mean? Like light travel and all of that shit, fun idea, doesn't exist, right? No way to get that. Correct. So the only, as it stands, is just this ability to live for thousands and thousands of years and travel this cosmos to create this expansion and have this unified thought amongst amongst everyone in the race, essentially. And I think that's what the filter is. That's my personal opinion. I don't know, maybe you don't think that, but all of this is to say, ultimately, as a result, if we do reach that Great Filter that I theorized and pass it, we are eternally doomed. Humanity is eternally doomed from the start to now, because we will no longer be humans once we pass that Great Filter as we know it, right? The things that make us humans are the corporeal forms, right? If we lose that corporeal form, we would lose that humanity, and then we would become something completely different. So that's why my thesis is that the Great Filter is real, and what the Great Filter is the ability to transcend essentially life itself, lifespan, and your corporeal form. And as a result of that, humanity, no matter what, we either reach that level and become something other than human, or we go extinct.
Producer Yeggog here. I can't believe he did a whole presentation on the Great Filter and didn't mention one of its biggest ideas. And it's very much in theme with the rest of the presentation, so it's weird. One of the big things about the Great Filter is the idea that for a species to progress to the point where it's able to do interstellar travel, its technology will have progressed to the point where it also almost certainly has created weapons that allow it to destroy itself, and very likely has already done so before the point where it's able to achieve interstellar travel, just because of the effort and time it takes to even get to that point. So it's not just how hard it is, it's the idea that getting to that point is very, very likely that the species destroys itself before it's able to actually achieve interstellar travel.
I can't believe this was like a 20-minute setup for you to make a fucking Doom pun.
It wasn't just a setup, but just think about it. We are doomed eternal. That's just what we are. And that's been the Softlock Cafe lesson this week. That's been the episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Comment down below. Do you think what I was spitting is true or not? Z, what you got for the people? This camera, this camera, this camera. Tell us about what you got going on.
Let us know about aliens. Let us know if we are doomed eternally. Let us know what you think about any of Oath's stupid-ass fucking statements from earlier. Let us know if we live in a society. Let us know if you want to come hang out with us the day that this releases and watch us play a video game together, us and yeggog.
Come hang out.
Crazy. Oh my God. Yeah, bye.
Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Watch the shorts. Later.